morning, Ramon. How are you on this fine wintry? Well, it's not quite wintry yet. Feels like it here, though. I guess it's
Well, it's
still officially
39,
fall, right? A fall day.
39 degrees here in Southern California, but I
Ooh,
mean, not in the room. I mean, but
yeah.
great to have you, Mindy, for another edition of Morning Steam. Hello to everyone filing into the chat for a Thursday, an NFL Thursday, and we'll preview tonight's game. If you want, the Rams and the Raiders. It's not a thrill a minute, but it's an NFL game, and we have other games too. We have a short NBA card. We'll take a look at almost the entire college basketball schedule with 4 games tonight. And there's a few more hockey games than that tonight that we'll preview as well, a 5 game card. So it's just a little balanced card with a lot of different sports coming off yesterday, Mindy. Uh, I don't know what maybe the highlight or marquee matchup was for you yesterday. We brought through some winners. We had a couple clunkers for Team Steam, so we hope you guys can come through with some winners for us today. Look who everybody. We're still celebrating your birthday,
I
apparently.
know. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take a week
It's a
long,
week long
birthday. I'm all right with
celebration,
that.
right? Yeah, it's a week long celebration. I think a holiday. Hey everyone, hello to all of our friends filing in. Good to see Ibrahim here and Daniel as well. Aaron Green joining us today. Great to have Aaron. You're a part of Team Steam. Here's Scotch with us as well. See what he said? He said, yeah, you're listening apparently.
Right.
So
Right.
CN's here as well. Man, all right. It's great to have everyone off of yesterday's subpar performance. Uh, so I don't know, Mindy, what you thought of yesterday's card or what was the highlight for you? It was was it an uneventful card? Am I missing something here?
Well, I mean, I think it was a little bit crazy, in the NBA. I myself, I watched that, Hawks game, and I mean, it was decent, for the most part. Other than that, I had a lot of hockey on myself, so I was watching, Buffalo put up five in the first period. What a crazy hockey day! Hitting the what do you call it? The
I
five
don't.
puck. I mean, it's no longer a hat trick. I don't know what you call it.
I had the under, so I was done with that right away. Bad call. Bad call. I was a game under
Well, it
500
just happens
yesterday.
that way sometimes, right? And it feels like there's nothing that you can do about it if it's going wrong.
Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Yeah, we talked about all those road dogs we were taking. The favorites rolled in the NBA, but we did get the money with a few of those road dogs. The Charlotte Hornets got us the money yesterday. The Washington Wizards got us the money yesterday. I had a premium pick on Boston. That was a good one for me. Wasn't too, everybody wanted to fade them a little bit. Third game in 4 nights.
Yeah.
Always a tough place to play, but I've been saying I think Boston has passed Milwaukee up a little bit. I mean, they're still both going to be top consideration, but you have to consider the Celtics right there right now. So
Yeah, they look good, didn't they?
take a look at the leaderboards and hey, good job to Brandon and Prav, our newest cappers coming through with a big day. Nick, Tiffany, and Mindy, all there on the leaderboards from yesterday. Good job, you guys. Take a look at our leaders and don't forget our premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. That's why we're here. We're going to give you a bunch of free winners in just a moment and hopefully get your contributions in the chat as well as we try to formulate a consensus opinion on today's games. But we do have our premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. These are our best picks each and every day over at Tony's Picks, including our best bets. Take a look here. You got Paul and Nick ready to go. World Cup action coming up this weekend, including Netherlands and Argentina on Friday, Portugal and Morocco on Saturday. Great games coming up in the World Cup. Tony's got his NFL best bet in the game tonight between the Rams and the Raiders in LA. I don't even know who the home team is. I don't mean I know who the home team is, but It's going to be a homecoming for the Raiders, I bet,
Right.
tonight. We'll talk about that one. Collins has a best bet in the NBA, and Mindy has action as well. Mindy, what's going on tonight over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, so I will be in on all the sports here today. So I got 2 plays in college basketball. I'm in on Thursday night football. Also have a 3-pack in hockey, and then another couple plays in the NBA. So ready to go. I have 7 picks here in total. I did go ahead and just push them all in one package, or you can buy each of those individual sports there as well. But like Tony's been talking about, this is the time to maybe not put your money towards one day. Go ahead and get a month-long package. I mean, that's the way to go to get the biggest bang for your buck there. So it's nice to have a lot of folks with us today. So Jared, sounds like Jared's going to be helping us out here with some NBA today as well.
Awesome. We could use the help right now. Let's go, Team Steam, and get ready. Hello to more of our visitors here, including Dave is in the house. Yeah, Jared is coming in. Yeah, that was a game, wasn't it, between Colorado and the Rangers yesterday. There's Dave. Here comes Jose as well. Daniel's with us again. He said, what about those unders yesterday? And
Right.
Scott says, keep fading the Bulls. Remember, he just keeps saying it.
That's
We
what
did
we're
it.
doing.
That's what it was. Can't wait to see what Jared has to say about these totals today. I mean, I know we got just a limited card. And Thurman Hill is with us again. Great to see you guys. Let's get started on maybe on our games here in just a moment. Just want to preview a few more things over at Tony'sPicks.com. Make sure we're hitting all the right buttons here. We got the $15 picks as well. Most of them are best bets that we already talked about, and the multi-sport packs. We didn't mention Ben. Want to mention Ben's got a package up there as well. So don't forget our pick ticker. You can get on board with all the latest games. If you're not sure who to go with, the game's coming up, you're going to watch it, you didn't have time to research it, check it out right here. We list all the games in chronological order. You just go right to the pick ticker there and see the early games. Mindy's on Lowell and UMass. UMass battle, if you will. Tony's got Marshall and Duquesne, and more action, NCAA basketball, NHL tomorrow. You see Capper's already locked and loaded, and all the football plays for tonight. Who are you going to ride with on Tony's Picks? Often we'll have a lot of our cappers agree, but sometimes they'll disagree. We'll see what Mindy has to say about tonight's game when we get there. We're going to go with football last because we're going to – I don't want to say the game's not great tonight. I'm sure Al Michaels isn't happy about it.
Right.
Hey, George Clark.
Yeah.
How about George Clark joining us?
That's nice. I know.
Man,
we're getting lots of folks in here. So we
Awesome
definitely
to
need your help
meet you,
today
George.
with getting us some good picks. We're ready for some big consensus plays.
Yep. Don't forget to put, the game you're talking about on the line so I don't show your pick on the wrong game and then we all blame each other for not having a good pick. We would never do that, but you can blame Mindy and I.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got big shoulders. They fill up our, box here pretty good.
So, all right, there it is. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. That's where you'll find our list of handicappers that kind of appear in order of how well they're kind of doing over the 7-day period. But if they are on multiple leaderboards, you'll find them up higher. So kind of goes in order of who's hot and who's not. And then at the bottom, you'll see who's, well, that was a
quit being so hard on yourself. Quit. It's like you're there like one day out of the year and you're like, this is the worst. I'm sure you'll be back up top tomorrow.
We'll crush them tonight on the Thursday night card. Yeah, I mean, we'll still watch this game. It's a football game. So Scott says we're growing. Blake says poor Al Michaels. Quit whining, Al. You're lucky you got a job. Hey, Mindy, before we start, I just want to mention some breaking news over the last – I'm sure everyone's already kind of seen it if you're here, but really, I don't want to make it a political conversation with anyone, as I don't want to lose any members of Team Steam.
It's not about that, right? It's just breaking news, correct.
Yeah, Brittany Griner is heading home right now on a plane, and it's just terrific, in my opinion. I don't care. Well, no arms dealer is going to get over on the United States of America. Brittany Griner is, uh, I don't care about anything that happened with her political positions as well. Let's get our people home that deserve to be home for ridiculous offenses, and we'll never let this guy get over on us, no matter how powerful he thinks he is as an arms dealer. Right? We got someone way more valuable that we want to see playing ball or just even getting back to her family. She don't even need to take the court again if she doesn't want to. But we're really stoked about it. That's just, you don't have to say anything, Mindy, if you don't want. But again, I mean, trade 10 arms dealers, so we'll always win out over that type of stuff. We're not going to get anything out of this guy. It's not like we're going to put him to sleep or anything. So let him go. Do whatever. We'll figure out other ways to uh, get over on him and just get our people back here. So I'm glad everyone agrees. If you don't, I don't mind an opinion either. If you want to state we were wrong, but I want to break the news, but I also feel strongly about the issue. So all right, that's great to see all you guys talking about it in that way. And we can get back to sports. Mindy, you don't want to say
It
you're
is
just happy.
sports, though. It is sports related. I mean, it's just as much, news as Xander Bogaerts going, to the Padres. I mean, picking
No,
up
good
a
segue.
great shortstop there. But yeah, I mean, again, I think at this day and age, I think we should, I think everyone knows it's kind of ridiculous to get, 9 to 15 years over, cannabis oil. I realize that, each country is different, mistakes are made, but again, I'm glad that she's coming back as well.
Great segue there. Could you believe? I can't believe the way the Padres are spending money like this. I mean, they've made
Right.
legitimate offers to Trey Turner and Aaron Judge. Arguable that they actually took the worst offers to go to the situations that they did. No problem. Not bagging on them for not wanting to come to San Diego. Just showing the way the Padres are spending money, and then they go and get Xander Bogaerts at a position where they're supposed to have one of the elite players in the game, who moved to outfield now finally. Uh, I don't know if that's the right spot, but Tatis isn't going to be cheered when he returns to the field, even by this fan base. So, but I guess he would be scheduled to be at the uh, top of the lineup leading off when he's eligible for return. And the Padres, maybe they even overpaid for a guy like Xander Bogaerts. So, but
Shortstops
they're
are hard.
serious.
I
Not gonna,
think shortstops though are just so hard to come by in Major League Baseball. So I mean, I don't mind that play at all. And I kind of like Kenley Jensen going, to the Red Sox there as well. And yeah, the Cubs are crazy with all of their stuff, right?
they're the Cubs, right? They're the Cubs right now. So, uh, the hot stove league. It's right here in San Diego. Actually, is where the winter meetings are, and the news that came out, like I said yesterday, about Aaron Judge. Padres coming in third place in the Judge sweepstakes, but he flew here to San Diego not only because everybody's here at the meetings, he can finalize his deal, but to meet with the Padres. So, Crush says he likes the contract. He doesn't mind that he'll be getting you know, money until into his late 30s and
What did you
hopefully
say,
still
Ramon? It was
producing.
$79 a minute. Is that what you said it was?
Jared is happy about it. Yeah, I think we
Nice.
want to see Judge as a Yankee. I mean, I'm just talking about the Padres spending money. Of course, yeah, they made a run for him. I don't know if and no disrespect to the Yankees, I don't know if I would pay that much I would obviously pay that much for Aaron Judge for the next few years. And yeah, I mean, it's built in. You give him money now, when he tails off, everybody's going to tail off. Not everyone can be a big poppy, right? But uh, you know, uh, power hitters, sometimes their talent, their ability falls right off the table when it's over, in a way. So you hope that that's not the case for Aaron Judge. I mean, here's a guy who was being booed in the postseason because he was in
Right.
a slump. That's scary. But that's just it. Power hitters, go into slumps. There's no doubt about it. So good, nice little baseball talk here. A little slow day. We're going to get started though right away.
Right.
But and I'm glad we
Lose
moved on a
games.
little bit.
Well, I don't think he's going to help lose games. But yeah. I mean, I always root for the Red Sox since I want them to stay in contention, with the Yankees. I love the rivalry, and so I always root for that every year. So hopefully they can rebuild and kind of get back into, playing some better ball.
Yeah, look, Jansen's still a good closer, and he might put you through some adventures right now. But if you came up to it at the end of the game, you gotta have a closer, and I thought that was a great situation in Atlanta. Those guys were so open about having two pretty big stars in closer role, and they were not into their egos or anything. Didn't work out totally for them, but it was good. So, all right. Yeah,
How
no doubt
beautiful.
about it. Orlando, he's definitely had
But he's
blown
still,
saves.
I mean, yeah, but he's a guy. He throws hard, and I think that's the thing that I think a lot of these folks are missing is the guys that can just blow some pitches by you in the closing situations. I don't think we've seen that here. For a while. That's my own opinion on that. But yeah, I mean, I get the blown saves. You get the good and the bad. With that.
Yeah, no, not everyone anymore. It's hard to have that guy that's almost unhittable every time they come in. So, um, all right, good. We got us off that one a little bit, and just
Should I look
real,
it up? How many
real.
blown saves? Kenley Jansen. Let's see. What is it? Do you know, Ramon?
How many blows? Well, I think even dating back to his time with the Dodgers, I mean, his career is definitely not on the upswing. He's just still pretty decent and can get it done. I think I don't know the number, but there's definitely some adventures with him.
So here's this. Despite a leaguing 33 saves, Jensen's 7 blown saves are tied for second most in the MLB in 2022. So 7-game loser there.
No, fair enough. I mean, these guys are still hard to come by, and it used to be like several teams would have these dominant closers, and now you just don't see them. They get so hot and cold in a way. I think sometimes. All right, let's take a look. We'll start with the NBA. Like I said, it's an interesting card today. We want your help. We want to get rolling. We want some winners. Try to get us hooked up on Team Steam. So. Start with the Clippers and the Heat. And, when we talked about the Clippers in that game yesterday, certainly, Mindy, the line reflected that the 2 stars looked like they would be playing. The Clippers ended up actually getting out to a big
Clippers
lead.
had their blown save, right? Oh, goodness. Oh yeah, continue, Ramon.
That was the best one-liner we've ever had. Oh boy, yeah, the Clippers had a blown save. All right, ended up losing the game in overtime, and they had the cover. It seemed like almost on wraps, through most of the game. So that just goes to show you. I mean, when you have the top player coming back, I mean, there's going to be fitness issues, fitness questions, right? Going the distance, that type of thing. And now here you have a back-to-back game. So you wonder, I mean, can these guys even get out there and play, tonight? Will they play, right? They might be right back on the bench tonight against these guys in the Heat. They're not doing anything special. They're one of the worst spread teams around this season with having a crummy start that they're having to, work through their own injury issues. So Jared comes in. He's got to play for us. What do you got to say about this one?
Well, I mean, I might be looking at it a little bit, differently because the Clippers are 6-1 against the spread in the last 7. They're also 5-0 against the spread in Miami. I mean, I think this, may be, definitely a spot here for the Heat to go ahead and win this game. But I like the points here in this one, plus 4.5. I mean, Clippers still scoring 115 points a game over the last 2. If I look at their rolling average, Clippers shoot 2% better from the field. I know that's not a lot, but they also, shoot better from three here as well. And the Heat only scoring, 94 points a game? I don't know. I like the Clippers here in this one.
Yeah, I can't do it after what I saw last night. I feel dirty. I mean, it was so disappointing. And now to expect, and I agree. I mean, I agree. I mean, the Clippers are, they have been able to get some numbers. Miami's, you know, terrible, 3-9-1 against the spread at home. But it just, to me, I'm just, you know, failing to see the Clippers coming back to back after they just squandered this huge lead against the Orlando Magic.
Right.
And we know the Magic. I mean, hey, I like watching the Magic. Actually, it's too bad they're not that great. But there, Dave said it right there. That's the big difference, and we don't know because Jimmy Butler is questionable for tonight. It does make a big difference. Now, I'm not chiding into Dave because he's been a great contributor. I just think it's a valid point that Dave's making. But it's our job right now to determine what we think as handicappers about the personnel and whether they're going to play or not, because the line is up there. They always say, well, with players out, the limits are, well, I don't know. I mean, if you're a limit player, well, but look, I appreciate everyone thinks we have a great show here, but, probably is not the best place for, people betting limits, watching us just toss out free picks. But it is our job to try to determine right now what we think the personnel will do. Mindy, and I agree. One thing we talked about yesterday was trying to, a lot of times basing our plays on a team algorithm, whether it's just going to be a good night or a bad night, traveling in, determining these situations. And that's kind of what I'm equating in this is that I'm the Clippers. I just had a huge lead against the Orlando Magic, and now I'm coming in here. And the line, by the way, I mean, let me just clean it up. I'll give Mindy more points. Might as well do the show like properly I'm supposed to do. It's 6, 213.5, and maybe it'll even go higher. Like I said, there's no injury status right now on the two Clippers stars. But when do we ever see these guys, play in a back-to-back? So Jared says he's talking about his totals, and he's got this one way under. Man,
Yeah.
I was.
Then I have
wasn't-
Rodney, though. Rodney, he said he took a shot with the Clippers at +5, so he liked them. I mean, there's a lot to be said. Again, we talk about, Vegas, they go ahead and, they base their information on not knowing whether or not players are going to be, in or out. And so that's already, put in there into that 6 number. So, I mean, it's going to be dictated once we find out for sure who's in and who's out.
Oh yeah, for sure. And again, that's what I want to make the point that I want to make. And again, I'm not making a handicapping lesson. I mean, you really, I mean, to a certain extent, you guys know more than I do about team and personnel. I'm talking about not just Mindy. I'm talking about everyone in the chat. I'm a guy who sits here and stares at an odds screen all day with TweetDeck over here and a database, 3 or 5 databases over here of different projections and numbers on my information, and that's my life.
And Steam,
Don't
yeah.
feel sorry for me. I mean, I think I love it. I don't want to go anywhere else. But again, when we're talking about the personnel that's going to play, sometimes it's just our job to try to determine whether or not it's a good spot. The personnel, it's all baked into the line, as far as so. If you want to wait, I respect that. We've got to make the play right now. Mindy says she wants to take the Clippers in this one. I'm not sure I can get on board due to those things that I just said. Great comments in the chat. Didn't mean to spend so much on this game, Mindy. I am actually going to.
The way that we handicap. I mean, I handicap different than you do. Jared uses his algorithm, Crush and Blake and Dave. I mean, they all handicap a little bit different. And so that's why it's nice when we can go ahead and use our different styles to handicap to gang up on Vegas and win some cash every day.
Right. I think it just harkens to something. I think Tony was saying it on one of the shows that, when a player's announced out, it's always the public perception, for example, this is a tough game because you have Butler, the star for Miami, and you have the two. Well, I'll just say Paul George at this point for the Clippers. But you say, "Oh, Paul George isn't playing, so take
Yeah,
Miami," or the moves on
automatically.
Miami or whatever. And that we see it time and time again. That's not always a determining factor, and the line is already adjusted. We're not beating the odds makers to the punch on there. All right, let's get ready to move on. But I am taking the over in this game. By the way, 6 straight meetings between these two have gone over, including and Clippers have gone over in their last 4 road games, right, including last night's crazy overtime game against Orlando. So I think I'm actually uh, disagreeing with someone in there. I think I actually have a couple of people disagreeing with me in the chat there. So Cages did say over, but it was Scotch that said under.
And
And
Jared, yeah.
also Jared has this one at 200. So Jared, if I know you know what you're doing, but if I've got this algorithm 200 and a 215, man, that's a strong play. I'll just say that's a strong play for you, and I think you know that. So, but I will be over in this game. And Mindy, you are on the Clippers. Okay, that was more of a philosophical discussion, I think, with that game.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
interesting.
It's a good start.
Well, we had to do something because now we got to talk about this one. uh, Rockets are down to 1.5. Total down to 230.5.
Yeah, how many have the Spurs lost in a row now? I mean, it's been a bunch. They're 23rd in scoring, only putting up 97 points a game in the last 3 here. Rockets, decent, ranked 19th here, putting up 111 points a game. I'm going to take a look at the total here. Under 4-0 in the Rockets last 4 road games. Under 6-2-1 the Spurs last 9, following a straight up loss of more than 10. I'm going to be going here to the under. I don't really want too much to do with this side here today. I have it within a basket.
Okay, Jared, hope I got the right game here for you. Like I said, try to mention
Yeah.
the game or at least put one team in there, but I think we moved on to this game okay. So you do, Blake says, Yuck. Yeah, because this has just been, for me, it's a terrible series for San Antonio. You're looking for any spot, right? Because no one's going to win. Even the San Antonio Spurs are going to win a few more games this season. So, obviously the best chance they have is against
Like
some of the
here.
weaker competition, maybe that they're familiar with. But they don't do very well against Houston at all. 1-9 against the spread last 10. Now you say, well, Houston's been okay. No, they haven't. I mean, they've been they haven't been very good, right? If you 10 games is only the last couple of seasons. I mean, Houston has been, kind of downtrodden now for a couple of seasons as well. It's only that San Antonio now has fallen through the basement a little bit. So I agree, Minnie. You look at this total. I mean, even though it's down to 230.5 off of the 233, I just see bad basketball. I don't see these two teams, oh, sure. I mean, they want to run and get off the floor and all that, but I just think it's an ugly game, and I don't think they'll be able to score. We've already picked on Houston a little bit, I think, on some of these road games. We'll say that last 4 meetings have gone over between these two teams, but this is a big number. Let's take a consensus play and go under in Houston, San Antonio.
All right, let's
Cages
do it,
all.
Ramon. Let's get one on the board. Good. We got some under consensuses here. I haven't seen any overs yet, so I think we're okay here.
Forgot my banner there because I was laughing so hard. Yeah, it's been really bad times for San Antonio. They are 7-3-1 last 11 meetings against. Let's see, against Houston. San Antonio. I meant to say that's what it was. I was wrong on that though. San Antonio, of course, just 1-9 against spread in their last 10 games. They've actually had the upper hand in this series. So sorry about that, everyone. I'm trying to gather my bearings after that Clippers joke still. Anyways, I'm on the under anyway, so it doesn't matter. Blake says the college teams can beat the Spurs right now. So, yeah, poor San Antonio. It doesn't, you want to try to put a positive spin on it, but there just isn't. All right, and Denver, they're actually an underdog now. Denver was a 1 point favorite. Now Portland is the 1 point favorite. The total has gone up to 228.
Yeah, Nuggets now have lost 3 in a row, putting up 110. Trailblazers won 2 out of the last 3 here, putting up 113. Trailblazers 7-3 against the spread the last 10. I think I'm going to go with the Trailblazers here at home. I'll take them basically going to pick them -1.
All right, Mindy's on the Blazers at home against the Nugs. I think Dave's got a parlay going, a 5-1. He Rockets Nuggets 3-teamer tonight. And Jared, interesting observation here. 230 or higher when you got under, and then he says put bet under when you get to 8 minutes left in the third, and you see it going between about 167 to 1 if they're right around there. I wonder if he thinks that does there have to be a close game or a blowout, or does that matter? That's what I would ask on that, but I know what he's saying on those type of games. He says, "Don't be a moron. Put more on it."
Right. Funny.
Well, yeah, Matt,
that's what
you
you're talking
do got to
about.
worry
Like
about OT,
a
but you
close
can't
game
worry
like
about
that.
OT. Yep. To a certain extent, high totals are kind of built into lower scoring spreads. So I feel that it is. I feel like lower scoring spread. Like I feel that odds makers will sometimes bump totals up when the spread is 1, 2, or 3 points, or right around a pick 'em because of that. Because believe it or not, most games fall right around the spread. Not all the time. It's the
Who knew?
generalization, especially in football. So great stats, everyone, today. Scotch and Jerry. And here it comes. Oh, all right. All right, Mindy, I'm going to be on the under in this game. Portland is 6-10-1 to the under as a dog. Denver's done pretty well in the series, so I'm just not sure right now I want to go against them. I just got burned with Denver. They are 8-7 straight up on the road. Portland 15-9 against the number right now. I'm going to go under Denver and Portland. All right, that's a look at NBA for tonight. Let's go into college ball next.
Play. Yep.
Yeah, one play. Okay. All right, Mindy, college ball tonight. It's a 8-game card. Let's go to Big Ten. It's going to be Big Ten heavy, so that's why we got you. Let's check out Rutgers and Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, Rutgers here leads the nation in 3-point defense. They're 6th in overall defensive efficiency. I mean, look how they held Indiana down, right? I mean, only allowing like 44 points that game. Looks like, offensively it'll come down to, a couple freshmen in this one. You got Derek Simpson here for Rutgers, Bryce Sensabaugh here for Ohio State. I'm going to take the defense here in this one. I'm going to go with Rutgers here covering. I had them at like +6, plus 5.5 now.
Let me see if there's been any any movement. 6.5 right now. That's what I'm showing.
So yeah, I'll take Rutgers plus 6.5.
All right, after coming in on Ohio State, total moved down to 136.5 from that 137.5. So great for you, not so great. Oops, what happened? Let's try that again. All right.
There it is.
Mindy will take Rutgers in this one. I'm going to be on the under, so I get the worst of it. Mindy gets the best of it as usual. Rutgers won last year 66-64 in a home game, but Ohio State rocked them at their place. So I don't know. I question Rutgers' ability. Ohio State has gone 4-1 in the over the last 5, but I don't know. Rutgers, to me, could have problems in this one. I will be on the under 136.5, and Mindy's on Rutgers and picks in the chat. Cages, Ohio State, and the under. Jared's
Yeah,
coming in big.
I had one model coming in at under, one coming in at 138 on the over. So decided to stay away from that under.
Okay. All right. All right. We had a request from Thurman. He said, what about the Iowa State-Iowa game? Well, we have the Midwest premier sports handicapper right here, 6 days a week on the morning steam. So let's get right into it with Iowa State and Iowa. We should have got your comments last night, Mindy, of course, on the Drake Nebraska Omaha game. I regret now.
Nebraska Omaha covered, right? So I was pretty excited. They are actually covering quite a few games this season. They lost by like 10 or 12, something like that. But I was, watching.
Drake was favored by 21 points.
Yeah, so they were, like I said, they kept it within distance. So I was pretty happy with that. So, they continue to improve every year. They had a play-in game last year to try to get into, March Madness. So, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, both of these teams, though, they're sitting at 5-3 home and away against the spread here. Iowa State, geez, what a strong, defensive team here. And then you have pretty much, I think Iowa is the Chris Murray show. He is pretty much all of their offense. So if I think Iowa State can stop him, I think Iowa State can probably win this game. And that's where I'm going. I'm taking this Iowa State defense. I know Iowa is 4-0 at home. They still may get this win, but I think Iowa State here can cover. I'm going to take them in the points.
All right, Mindy's on Ohio State plus.
Iowa.
Yeah, you're going to kill me on that one. Iowa State plus the points. This is two teams that she knows pretty darn well. So, Iowa State won, 73-53 at home last year, getting 5 points. Iowa's been looking good so far at home. And Crush says, take Iowa here. Curtis says, did you get my comments? I thought I did. I'm sorry, Curtis. You're always right on with us. I'm going to go over, I think, in this one, Mindy, with these two teams this time around. Let's see what it is right now. It's down to 139.5. So Jared said, okay, I see. I'm behind in the comments. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. Well, you have to remember, Ramon is doing all of the controls here for the show, so he has lots to deal with on the other side as well. As long as being the host and the producer, yeah, it's lots of work.
I'm trying to get it. That's the whole aim of the show, though, is to get the comments up, on the particular game. And like I said, until there's too many comments to post, I want to post them all. Hopefully one day I don't want to say hopefully one day that'll be the case. It'd be nice to put every comment up. So anyways, in this one, so the total's gone down. That benefits me. I'm looking to go over in this one with Iowa State and Iowa. 139.5. That looks pretty decent to me as far as the value is concerned. Look, I just, I know that last year's meeting went way under this here, but you heard what Mindy had to say about it. So Mindy says take Iowa State plus the 4. I say go over 139.5. All right, Colorado State and Colorado. Colorado here is now a 4.5 point favorite. Total is 143.
Yeah, Colorado, they're sitting at 3-6 against the spread at home. Colorado State 4-5 against the spread here on the road. This is going to be their first interstate meeting in 3 years here. Colorado has some, losses to some pretty decent teams, Arizona State and Washington. Colorado State, though, coming off of a kind of a bad loss to a Northern Colorado team. But they do go ahead and get their starting point guard back here after a foot injury as well. So I don't know. I have Colorado State here winning this one, and in both of my models. And I mean, winning versus with the points here. Colorado's just not scoring as much as I expect, even though I know they've been playing better competition here. Colorado State, they also shoot 50% from 2, 37% from 3. I'm going to take State here today, +5.
All right. Mindy's on Colorado State. Yeah, we got into a bit of a discussion with some of the Mountain West on Tony's show. And, I think that, he pointed out Colorado State has looked pretty decent this year. Matt says take the Rams with the points. He doesn't think it's all about Dion at this point when it comes to Colorado, even in the basketball preview. I mean, it's why not? I mean, if the football team starts to perform, the basketball team will they'll start to get more recruits too, probably.
That's true, right? Everyone's going to want to come. Yeah.
I'm half kidding because Boulder is actually an awesome destination. I mean, Mindy, you had a birthday. I know you're still 29 after all these years, but Colorado, man, they used to play in big football games. Yeah, I know you know that.
I remember, you don't have to rub in like 2005 when they put up about 400 rushing yards on the Huskers. I mean, I get it, right?
They played in, big football games.
Cordell Stewart. I mean, they had
just. Oh, God. I mean, yeah, don't forget that, right?
Really
go back before the turn of the century, sure. I mean, it is crazy, when you think about a contrast. I don't want to say a contrast in character necessarily between a guy like McCartney and Dion, because in a way, they are they might be extremes in one way, but they're also kind of the same in another way as far as faith and family and all that. So for all the McCartney's faults, what can you say? I mean, he turned on Boulder like no one ever before when the Buffaloes were rolling. But anyways, we're talking about basketball here, not on the. So for me, in this one, Mindy, with Colorado and Colorado State, I'm looking to go over. This is a big number, but that's the way I'm going to go in this one with these two teams. CSU's first road game, so I'm not sure yet. I want to see a little bit more. They are 0-4 against the spread last 4. All 4 of them have gone under, but I'm going to go over 143.5. Playing the move here a little bit, I think, in this one. So I see it's down to 143. So, all right. One more. Now let's go back to the Big Ten with Michigan and Minnesota, Mindy. Michigan's a 4.5-point favorite, total 135.
Yeah, Michigan here sitting at 4-4 against the spread. Minnesota 3-4, but they are only 1-3 at home this season here. Edie here for Purdue just, I don't know, had a big clinic versus this Minnesota team. 31 points, 22 rebounds. So then I kind of see Michigan's big man here with Hunter. I think he'll prove to be another challenging guy for this Minnesota team. I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. Minnesota 353rd in the NCAA in points scored here as well. Only shoot 41%. Man, I don't think Minnesota can get it done. I don't see this one as being a close one. I like Michigan here at -4.5.
So does Scotch. So do I. I like Michigan in this one. I think there's a little bit of value in the line, down from as high as 6. I think in this one is what I saw some 6s out there very, very early. So I think down to 4.5. I mean, granted, it was 4, but Kay just says roll with Michigan. That's our college consensus play. So we got 2 consensus plays in this one. Yeah, they are Minnesota, 0-5 to the under at home, I thought was interesting as well. But I'm going to be on Michigan in this one. I don't think it is going to be that close, actually. Might have been a premium, but let's roll with it. We want some selections here. All right.
Ramon, they want to. You like?
I went over.
Yeah,
I went over in Colorado State. Yeah, I'm on some overs. All right, that's a look at our college basketball card. There were just 4 games to look at. There's only 8 games on the entire
And again, if
card.
there are games that you want us to cover, on our show, like say for Saturday, let us know if you want something in advance and we can plan for it. Otherwise, we just pretty much do the ones that are, televised, the bigger games, high thrill scores. So that's kind of how we do our selections with college basketball. But let us know in advance if there's something you want us to cover.
Yeah, and you'll see on Tony's videos, he does a lot of the same games, I think, in a way, so it gives you a different perspective on those games. But again, I think that we just are going to hit more people with what they really want to see. I think most people are going to watch the major televised games. I mean, it is nice to hit on some of those smaller games, especially on a short card. If we can on a Friday night, or no, let's say Friday when we're not here, but on some Monday or something, if there's smaller conferences and big games, I mean, we'll hit on it if it's in a big game of focus. But less people are less interested in some of those smaller conference games. That's just a fact of the way it is. I mean, when you were talking about the mothership televising all their games and Fox Sports. All right, let's get into hockey now because we still got to get to the
All right.
NFL.
Yep.
And there's a 5-game card here with Nashville and Tampa Bay. Uh, Tampa Bay right now, they're favored in this one, Mindy. I've showed them. Let's see if there's any bet in Tampa Bay now 195, 6 over 15.
Yeah, I think it opened at like minus 200 or so. But the
Okay.
Lightning here have only scored just 2 goals in their last, game here against the Red Wings. Not scoring a whole lot. Predators have just 61 goals on the season. That puts them at 31st in the NHL. Under is 9-3. Predators last 12 games following a win. Under 4-1. The Lightning's last 5. I'll take the under. No one's really wanting to score too much here today.
Okay, Mindy takes the under in this one. Now, Nashville 6-4 to the over on the road. Tampa Bay 9-4 to the over at home. I can't necessarily get with it. Maybe if it was more of a 6.5, I'd be more interested. I think in that one. Tampa Bay. What can you say? It's a pretty big number they're laying here in this one. Probably going to end up here. I'll take Nashville on the puck line. Not thrilled. You said it. They can't score very well, but I'll take Nashville plus 1.5 goals. Mindy says take under in Nashville and Tampa. We've got Orlando says Preds come in with rest. Butterscotch says Tampa 8-2-3 at home. Tampa's won
Both of
10.
those can exist together, right?
Tampa's won 10 out of the last 12 meetings between these two teams. So it's been a dominant series now. Tampa's been a pretty elite team, while the Predators are kind of a team that fights to get into the playoffs. So all right, here they are, the Kings, scoring goals again on the road, just lighting it up. They'll be with Copley. There was talk, Mindy, about Cal could come back, but
Oh, really? They wanted him to come back after all that,
well,
huh?
see what the waiver situation was, but right now it could be, looking like this is the matchup here with the Kings and Leafs. I'm showing the Leafs are favored here, $1.70, and maybe it's this total's dropped considerably. It's 6 over 15 right now. It looks like.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like where the Kings are headed in scoring goals. I'll take the over in this one. Maple Leafs, they've won 4 out of their last 5 now, beat up on the Stars 4-0. Kings put up 5 versus the Senators in their last one when we were on the Senators, so I think we were kind of wrong on that one. But yeah, putting up 5 goals a game, I'll take the over 6 here in this one, Ramon.
Right. What was I thinking going against the Kings in that
Right.
one? Now
Right. You thought
Toronto's
it was the
playing.
spot, huh?
Toronto's playing pretty hot themselves right now. 7-0-3 last 10. Kings 8-2 to the over in their last 10, but Toronto 3-10 to the under at home. But I agree, Mindy. Right now, I can't get in front of the Kings the way they keep scoring. I mean, that was just amazing the way they went out and scored goals again on the road, just when I wanted to fade them. That was a bad call that day. So let's go over with Toronto and the Kings in this one. Should be a good game. And, the fact that it's 6/15, and, I'm showing it even less. So I don't think it'll go back to 6.5 necessarily. Like I said, I saw some, 6.5s out there. I'm pretty sure. Orlando says Leafs are an under team with good defense. Well, yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. Red Wings and the Panthers here. The Panthers are $1.95 or so, 6.5 over 20.
Yeah. So I mean, like these Panthers here, they're 18-5 versus the Red Wings in like the last 23 games. Panthers as of late putting up 4 goals. Um, Red Wings here putting up 3. Gosh, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and just take the Red Wings here on this one. I like them just on the puck line. I'll take them at plus 1.5 at minus 150 here today. It's one of those, like the Panthers for me just aren't that minus 190 worthy. Maybe I'm a little bit off, but I'll take the Red Wings. I think they have the better shot at this one, but not quite willing to take them on the money line today.
Yeah, I mean, I think there could be some goals here. Obviously, I mean, it's juice 6.5, but I mean, I think this one could reach 7 goals. Well, look, Orlando says Wings playing good defense here. I don't know though. Against Florida, Florida's playing a little bit better right now. I'm going to go with Mindy though. I agree. I think Detroit, they're 9-5 on the puck line this season. They're what, minus $1.50, you said? So
Yeah.
9-5 gets it done at plus $1.30 or minus $1.50. And Florida's 7-16 is a puck line favorite. Scott says he does like the over. I also think I lean to the over here, but let's go ahead and take the Red Wings here, plus 1.5 goals, minus $1.50. We're on a couple of, we're on the puck line there. Yep.
Right.
We're on a couple of games here so far in the NHL. Orlando says Wings team total over, which right now is 2.5 over 65. It looks like for the most part.
Okay. That'll help you get to and over in that one.
Jets and Blues here, and I'm showing the Jets. It's almost a pick 'em, but the Jets are just a slight favorite right now. The total is 6 flat.
Yeah, Blues been up and down for me this year. Geez, I don't know here. The Jets, they're 7-4 on the puck line on the road. Blues 4-7 here at home. I think the big difference in this one is going to be, how this Jets team plays defense against this Blues team that I think is kind of inconsistent here at best. I think I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to take the Jets here, minus 1.5 goals, plus 200.
All right, Mindy takes the Jets. Yeah, look what Scott says. He says the Jets have really done well in this series, 12-3 the last 15 in St. Louis. Pretty interesting number there, I would say. That does stand out a little bit. Winnipeg is 8-1 as a favorite this year. They're still just a slight favorite. Man. I don't know. So, like I said, I usually rely on the money line, just straight up records when I see that. Look at this. Both teams have averaged 9+ goals in their last 7. I mean, I know that's combined. So, yeah, St. Louis 8-2 to the over in the last 10 games. That's the way I'm going to go. That's a great stat, Scotch. I'm going to go over in that one. That's how the chat works. Because, yeah, I'm kind of hot and cold on this game.
Ooh,
I'll go
Orlando,
over.
He's way opposite of me today. He said Bennington needs a big game, so Blues win. Yikes! I don't know if that's gonna bode well for my taking a chance on the Jets winning by 2 here. So we get the challenge here, Orlando. We'll see how it works out tomorrow.
Senators and Stars.
Yeah, I mean, Senators or Stars are both 2-2 over their last 4 games, but Stars they've been putting up some goals. Again, I think it's a much needed improvement from last season. 3.5 goals a game. Senators they're right at around the 3 goals, 2.75. I think Stars here are just better defensively. Only allowed 74 goals here. Home team 7-1 the last 8. I'm going to go ahead and take the Stars here at minus 175.
Yeah, I think it's a decent spot for the Stars. I'm going to go with Stars as well. Dallas 11-6 is a puck line favorite. Kind of want to lay the puck line, but $1.75. I think we're actually going to find a higher price when we get there.
Okay.
Maybe even $1.80. But I'm willing to do it. Let's get a 3-pack going tonight. Dallas 3-6-1 to the under last 10. Ottawa 2-8 to the under last 10. 6 over 30 though. Yeah, Stars it is. I think Stars is where I want to go with this. We'll take them on the money line. Let's get a 3-pack together. Consensus.
All right. Are you okay, Ramon? Do you need some? Are you okay? Do you need a soda drink?
I just took one. Yeah, I took it.
Okay, good. Okay.
I'm gonna survive.
Senators team total under Stars.
Oh, and look, and Scott says under. It may get to 6.5, so I don't know. I mean, like I said, it keeps getting juiced. I said 6 over 30. It looks like almost at some of the sharp books 6 over 30. So I mean, that one could keep going higher. So good price there. All right, let's go over the NFL. We're going to look at tonight's game, Mindy, and then we're going to look at the early games from Sunday. 7-game card on Sunday with 1 game tonight.
Your favorite game, it sounds like, of the whole weekend.
No, I mean, it's funny, right? I mean, they had no teams in LA. They had 2 teams in LA. They got the other teams in LA. The Raiders, they belong to everybody, I guess. When you go from Oakland to LA to Oakland to Las Vegas. So the Raiders are favored. We know that the Rams are signing Baker Mayfield. I mean,
is he playing tonight, Ramon? Is he going to play?
How could he possibly get in there? I guess he's going to get in, right? I mean, he could get in the game. I guess they don't like the second string guy at all. Joe says go under. I think Scotch might be already talking about this game as well. So here's the thing. I asked you about Matthew Stafford, and I said, do you think he's played his life? Is Baker Mayfield the starting quarterback for the Rams next year on opening day? I mean,
I didn't think about it, but I want to say no, but right. I think he's going to be a really good backup quarterback for them. But I mean, I think Matthew Stafford's probably going to come back. I mean, unless he has unless he has like a lingering head issue or something. I mean, he has a young family. He may opt out, if the concussion doesn't go away. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there is a chance, but I want to say right now probably more chance of Baker Mayfield's a really good backup for them.
Well, I don't even know about really good. I just know that.
How about better than what they've had? Well, you kind of.
McVay had a relationship with Mayfield as far as they got to know each other during an airplane flight a little bit, so he feels comfortable bringing him in. Who knows what the Rams are going to do? We already know they have other injury problems, coming into this game. The Raiders, I mean, they're an adventure unto themselves, especially considering, with Carr and his up and down. Jacobs is obviously a great story. I mean, here the Raiders tried to kick him to the curb, and he becomes their most important player. We kind of make fun of Carr and Adams, and sometimes they're not on the same page. Adams is having a monster year. So is there really anything to that at all?
Well,
talking about, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Go
I think
ahead.
the
Let's
key
go.
to this is going to be if Derek Carr has time to pass. And it sounds like, Donald's out. So I think he's probably going to have time to pass. I think this one, contrary, I mean, I think it might tick to the up, but, I'm going to go ahead and go on the Raiders here. They have won 3 in a row now. They're putting up 30 points a game themselves, over those 3. I think they could do that definitely here tonight. They're also 4-1 against the spread the last, 5, following that spread win. I mean, Scotch has the numbers. I think the Raiders are going to be able to get this one today. I'll take them -6.5.
All right, I'll be on them with you. It worries me to lay 7 points on the road on a Thursday night with the Raiders, but I just don't see any way around it right now with the Rams. A lot of issues coming in. I still think there are good things about the Raiders, at least in this scenario. Other than the fact it's Thursday night, that's what bothers me. I mean, how we're laying this points. I see a C-man, so hopefully he catches up. He thought we were behind, but I think he's behind in the
If he's talking about the Stars, yeah.
yeah, he's still on the last hockey game, so no problem. We love you, C-man. Don't be mad on that. Scroll the bar and go back later and watch it, or just do it that way. But anyways, Mindy, yeah, I'll lay it. Maybe they can get this touchdown victory tonight. Just worries me. Like I said, I mean, Thursday night laying points on the road. Hopefully they do play Baker because that'll help us, right? Scott says Rams are 0-7 ATS last 7 games. We know the Rams 2-5 straight up at home. Raiders just 2-5 straight up on the road. So it worries me. Why can't they be 4.5 or something or 4? But they're not. They're laying 6.5. I'll lay the points with the Raiders. You said you thought it would lean to the over though a little bit.
I did. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking at this one, Raiders putting up 30, 35. I think the Rams can get a couple scores. Again, I think it ticks to the over. But again, it has probably just as good a chance, not as well, but Raiders just seem to be clicking. I don't know if they can stop Adams in this one, but then I think they can also, the Rams, I think they can, get a couple scores here in this one.
Yeah, Ramsey's not having a good year at all. So, yeah, the Raiders, I mean, it might be a pseudo home game, too. I would guess the fans will be in mass for the Raiders in this game. Probably more fans for the Raiders than the Rams, I would think.
There's
C-Man.
C-Man. He's caught up.
He
Yay.
says money line. Scotch has it as a blowout, though. Just hard, man. The Raiders, do they blow out anybody ever?
Maybe today, Ramon. Maybe today is the day.
Yeah, the Rams have fallen on hard times. No one's fallen harder than the Rams. So, a couple of teams, they've had their glory days. No love lost from me for these two franchises, but I'll take those Raiders tonight with Mindy. We'll be on a consensus play here. All right.
I'm excited for the game, though. I am. I don't think it's going to be as dreadful as you think. If you like, I mean, I think it's going to be points. So I mean, I think it's going to be fun.
Well,
so we'll see.
There's some storylines to it. Like I said, no,
I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield to play. They said he might get in a couple series that he's learned some of the plays here already.
One day, I mean that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It shows you.
But they did with McCaffrey, right? I mean,
Well, quarterback is one thing. I guess football's not that hard. You can just go join another team and start throwing passes. You don't need to have any routes or plays. You just make up some signs and
it's like touch football back in the day, right? Everyone just goes out and do a timing pattern.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good recipe at all for the Rams. Quite
it
frankly,
might be where they're at this point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we know the starter. We know he's questionable coming in, and we know the backup wasn't that great. So if we see Baker, all right,
All
Okay,
right.
Sunday now. This is a little bit better. This is a one. I don't know if this is what everybody's talking about, but I mean, if you're on a gambling channel, it is the one that you should be talking about because the Lions are favored against the Vikings. Yes, the Lions have new life again for the second time this season, and we're talking about them in a positive light because they've actually played a little bit better, well enough to be favored at home against a Vikings team that, okay, we all agree they're overrated. Their record is, better than their team, but they've gone out. They've gone out there and won the games. They've done what they've had to do. So, why are the Lions favored, Mindy? Are they really that good? If you put these two
It's
teams
because
on
the
a neutral
Lions
field,
always play the Vikings tough.
okay.
They always play the Vikings tough, especially at home. And the Lions, I don't know what's going on with them, but they're making us money. They're 5-0 against the spread their last 5 here overall, plus putting up a ton of points. I think they're going to give them a run for their money. I'll take the Lions minus
All
two and a
right.
half. I'd probably take the Lions on the money line and not do the 2.5, but
Well, you're welcome to do
I'll
that.
take them. I'm going to take them to win. I think it always is going to come down to a field goal.
I'll even say, I'm showing right now at one of our two books in the back. I'm showing it at -2. So why don't I fix that a little bit and give you the best line possible here with the Lions? Um, like I said, hey, Scotch likes the over. I think in this game, I think he's talking about with the Vikings and the Lions. So, yeah, I don't know. I might agree with that. Detroit's covered the last 4 meetings. You mentioned that how well they've done against the Vikings. But again, I mean, maybe this Vikings team's a little bit better. Maybe everybody's getting too excited about Detroit. Detroit's 8-4 against the spread. We know that. Minnesota just 1-2 as an underdog. So, uh, like I said, a really peculiar position.
It
This is
is.
usually one that screams Detroit is going to, crush Minnesota when you see them actually favored in a game like this. So, Scott says he does like the over in the game. That's a pretty big number, but I'm apt to kind of agree, I think, with him there in this one. I'm going to go over Minnesota and Detroit. Agree with Scotch in this one. Mindy says take Detroit -2.5. All right. This is another great game. It should be great, but the spread would say blowout. The Bills are favored by 9.5. Total 43.5. Did they forget who the Jets are?
But didn't we see this one before too? I mean, if I'm mistaken. But again, it's like the Lions. The Jets are getting us money. They're 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games here, following an against the spread a loss. Bills, been struggling scoring. Again, Diggs is saying, "Give me the ball," and I say they should probably give him the ball here. Jets were also able to beat the Bills in Week 9, 20-17. I don't know. I mean, are the Bills going to somehow, change things up here a little bit? I don't think so. I'm going to take the Jets plus 9.5.
Gotta take the Jets here. I mean, it's just disrespectful. I mean, this is a big game for the Jets. It's a big game for Buffalo, obviously. Jets don't do too well in this situation, just 3-7 against the spread at Buffalo. But I will note that, Buffalo, they're 3-9 to the under this year. 5 of the last 7 meetings have gone under as well. Maybe there'd be some talk for the over, but I don't know. Jets seem to have a little bit of a defensive idea about what is going on for Buffalo. Scott says, let's take the Jets. He says he'll buy a point. We don't have that luxury. We'll take 9.5, Mindy, for a consensus play on Sunday
I
with
wish
the
I
Jets.
could buy that half point as well, get that up to 10. That would be amazing.
Well, again, you can privately. It's not part of the
Yes.
tout situation, but we'll take the Jets. We're on them. Consensus play plus 9.5 at the Bills. All right. Talk about rivalries. Here you go.
Oh my
Ravens and Steelers.
goodness.
Steelers -2.5. Total 37.
Yeah, I mean, Ravens, scoring 23 points a game. now going to be without their starting quarterback. Steelers, they're scoring 24 points a game in their last three. I really like where the Steelers are, headed here as of late. Um, I mean the over though is 5-1 in this matchup, and I know that the Ravens are kind of without a quarterback here in this one too. So to me, that's always intriguing, especially in that week. But man, I don't think I can do an over under without that quarterback in there, even though he hasn't really been doing a whole lot. I'm going to be on the Steelers here, -2.5.
All right, fair enough. Mindy, you'll be on Pittsburgh -2.5. I take it Tyler Huntley's not doing enough for you to consider that. Look, I think it's still Baltimore and Pittsburgh to me. If you have, still a rookie, yes, Baltimore's defense has not been all that right now, but Baltimore's going to have to run the ball. That's what I wanted to say. Exactly what Scotch was saying. Um, Pickett is also, he's been up and down. Let's face it. I'm going to go under 37. Get back to old time Baltimore and Pittsburgh football. I think in this one, back like it was in the day for the Ravens and the Steelers. I got to go under in this one. They're combined 9-15 to the under this year. Pittsburgh's 2-7 to the under at home in their last 9. Includes a little bit of last year. Baltimore not getting numbers, but man, they're getting the points here. But Mindy says take Pittsburgh -2.5. I'm going to say go under 37. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. All right, Eagles and Giants. It's a big game still. Don't forget about the Giants. Come on, they're okay. They're still, they've been overachievers. They've done well. Eagles, they earned the respect early. They've come back down to earth a tiny bit. They're favored on the road here by 7, total 45.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles have won 3 straight again now, scoring 30-plus points a game. Giants, like you said, they're no slouches. Got off to a good start, then kind of been mediocre as of late, putting up 20 points a game over the last 3. Still going to take a look at the over in this one. Over 6-1, the Eagles last 7. Over 6-2 in the last 10 in New York. I'm going to go ahead and go over that 45, Ramon.
Yeah, it's funny because you look at this and you say, oh, division game. Giants certainly got to come with some defense here. The Giants 9-3 against the spread. They're a home dog, everybody. I just want to point that out in the National Football League, okay? Look, Philadelphia, they smashed them last time they played, but that was at Philly. And then I think the Giants, I think Philly might actually win. Eagles take care of business, Scotch says. Crush says he likes the Giants here. So you can see what people are going to think about this game. So I'm going to agree with you. I think it goes over. Just looking at a total at 45 in a division game kind of, to me, shows what's going to happen, I think, in this game. And you mentioned right there, Crush says the game is always close. And even with Danny Dimes, we could be seeing some trading some scores late, I think, in this one. And we could have some running. Again, we know the Eagles are vulnerable. I think the Giants know that they've got to get their running game going. And the running game's been up and down for the Giants. But we didn't know if they would have much of a running game, and turns out they did this season. So I want to go over, even a division game here. Let's put a consensus play in for Philly and Giants to go over.
Consensus play.
Yeah. Well, here's a division game. An interesting one because all of a sudden now we got the Cleveland has their quarterback in, and still Joey B, though, covering numbers like nobody's business. Bengals are favored by 6, total 47.
Yeah, I don't know about this game, right? I mean, that this Bengals team, they're playing, really well. They have, one of the top run games here in the NFL. But for whatever reason, we know Joe Burrow is 0-4 against Cleveland in the last 2 seasons. They said he could be the only quarterback to go 0-5, I think, other than like Trent Green versus the Patriots. I mean, it's crazy. And then you have Deshaun Watson back. He was rusty last week, but, I think he could probably get the job done here. They also have those couple running backs that tend to be, pretty intricate. Browns are 8-1 versus the Bengals over the last 9. I'm going to be taking the Browns and the plus points.
Yeah, that's what troubles me with it because I really want to be on the Bengals here, but
Right.
the Browns have kind of had their number a little bit. But Cincinnati's still 9-3 against the spread so far. So 7 of the last 10 meetings have gone over with 2 pushes, but I think this is where we get into more hard-hitting divisional play. So Crush says he likes the Browns in this spot. He says, Burrow ever won a game against the Browns? Here's Butterscotch. He says he likes this one to go over. He thinks the lead will trade.
That's how you're thinking about, Giants game. Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think for me, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to be on the under in this one, Scotch. We're on the same page on a lot of games today, it looks like, or this week. I'm talking about this Sunday, but not this one will be a disagreement. I'm going to be going on the under with Cleveland and Cincinnati. They've been high-scoring games between these two, but right now in this, I don't know what you thought. We didn't talk about. Did we talk about Watson very much on the Monday? Because
a little bit.
I don't think it was any. He had one very nice play, but I don't know if he was any step up over the other quarterback.
No, Brissett, I think, was playing, just as well. Again, I think Watson has the live arm, and that's something that I think can carry them through games. But again, we have to see a little bit more from him. I mean, speed gets to you. I mean, the NFL is so fast, so it's going to take him a little bit, even though he's been practicing. But I'm sure it's not anything full gameplay. I think he'll do better this time.
Yeah,
but this Bengals team is tough.
More time, sure. Yeah, more time. Yep. Okay, so Mindy's on Cleveland plus the points, and I'm on the under 47. All right. Jaguars and Titans. Well, no wonder the Titans always win the division. I mean, how hard is it going to be? Watch out. Here come the Jags. They're only a 4-point favorite in this one because of the Jags' improved play and the total 4-41.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think about the Jaguars. They lose games I think they should win, and win games I think they should lose. I like the Titans team. They're tough. They're just not really live on offense other than Henry. They're just pretty steady. The Jaguars, though, allowed 40 points to the Lions last week. Titans gave up 35 to the Eagles. I thought these two teams were pretty good on defense. So I'm not sure what's going on here as of late. So I'm going to take a look at the over 7-1. Jags last 8 road games, over 5-2 in the last 7 in Tennessee. I think that, they could each manage 3 touchdowns in this one if, Derrick Henry doesn't get most of those himself, probably.
Yeah, they should be. They should be better on defense in this one compared to what we saw. So I don't know. Seems reasonable number 41. I might be going against, but Jacksonville's been such a over on the road this season. Derrick Henry just has a pretty strong games here. I think he can control the game, help control the clock. I am going to be on Tennessee with Scotch once again. Fonzie joins us. Good to see him. Yeah. And I'll take Tennessee -4. Mindy's on Jacksonville as the game to go over. Jacksonville, Tennessee to go over 41. So, all right, one more.
Game of the day.
Not a rivalry. And
Texas shootout.
I'm trying to think of some way to. Yeah, I'm trying to spice it up somehow. Not a rivalry. We only play every few years. The teams aren't closely rated right now. I'm sure the Texans are going to win this one probably by 25 points.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I'm just going to take the Cowboys to win and cover this one. We talk about, it's hard to cover, double digit spreads here. But Cowboys are just going to, I think, put it to them here on this one. I don't know if the Texans are going to be able to have more than 100 yards passing here in this one. I think the Texans' best shot is keeping it on the ground and slowing the game down, but Cowboys are too good.
You have them covering it, Mindy?
Yep, I got the
Wow.
Cowboys minus 16 and a
Oh,
half.
the disrespect for Davis Mills comes from Mindy. I mean, remember when I was saying they finally have gone back to Davis Mills, finally putting the right quarterback in. What were they thinking? Benching Davis Mills. I mean, come on.
Well, true.
Oh, we got a guy better than Davis Mills. Well, Davis Mills is nothing special. neither was the replacement. Just when you don't have anybody, you just go back and forth or whatever. And now put Mills back in there. It doesn't make any sense necessarily, but Houston's failed in 4 straight games. They've all gone under, so it hasn't been pretty. I'd probably looked. I don't know. A man that's a lot
Cowboys
of
putting up 50.
well. Everybody's on the Cowboys. Bonzi says Cowboys for sure. Crush says it should be by 21. I'll find a way to get on. I'll find a way to get on Houston somehow, probably on Sunday.
You take the teaser. I'll take +7. I don't know.
We don't care about all those crazy teaser rules. If you want to play teaser math, you're fine. If you want to play teaser math, you can win your, 0.8% for the season. Congratulations. Just play all the teasers, play standard teaser rules. You'll come out ahead in the end. Never tease through the 0, always tease through the key number. If you can tease through 2 key numbers, and you'll walk away with your little tiny percentage, and whoop-de-doo. So
at least you're winning, Ramon. At least you're winning.
you're right. I'm not going to make fun of those people. I'll tease whatever I want. If I want to tease it from 3 to 4 the other way, I'll do it. I'm expecting a close game, whatever. I'm that guy. So Cowboys, yeah. Remember, I made a joke. I really didn't fall asleep, Mindy. I didn't say I was kidding when I said I went to bed when the Colts were covering the spread and how it turned out. I watched most of it as the Cowboys just scored point after point after point in the fourth quarter. So they did score those 54, but the game was over at that point. And the Colts had given up. So, all right, Mindy's on Dallas, and for me, let me see.
I feel like there's a lot of peer pressure going on today, Ramon.
Yeah, well, there is because I want to agree with everybody in the chat. I mean, I agree with you. I just have a problem laying 17 points in an NFL game. So I'll go over in this one. If you guys are right, Dallas is going to obviously put up a ton of points again. Maybe Houston comes up with who said they were going to score? Butterscotch said they'd be lucky to score.
Right.
So I need it to be 45. So I need to be like 45-3.
Yeah, easy.
I'll go over. Watch out. Dallas may just think they're a little bit too cozy. This is the National Football League after all. Like I said, I'm not kidding. Fonzie says, "Don't do it. Don't do
it, Ramon. Don't fall into the trap.
Don't take the Cowboys or don't go over."
Oh, I don't know. I thought he meant don't take the Cowboys with everyone, but I think he did like the Cowboys, but maybe he was talking about the total. I don't know. You have to clarify, Fonz.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. The total was as high as 47.5, and now it's 45.5. And obviously the spread isn't 42, so they are expecting something to come, at least 2 touchdowns from the Texans. But in a game where you feel comfortable.
Oh, he said don't take the Texans. Don't do it.
You guys will never know. It's not going to be a premium. It's not going to be a show play. I'll be sitting there somehow with the Texans, 60-3. Oh, you guys are terrible, man. You guys are really mean to the Texans. This is the NFL game, and like I said, this is the game where the Texans are going to go off and win by 7. They'll win by 17 points.
And Ramon will be cashing his ticket.
Everybody be scratching their heads. Yeah, I'll have a small bet that no one would even consider, but I gotta take the Texans somehow. All right, I'll be on the over in this one with Houston, Dallas. Mindy says take the Cowboys, lay the lumber. All right, good show. Sorry I rambled on so much today on other things too, but go to tonyspicks.com where you'll find our premium picks, absolutely our best picks each and every day over at tonyspicks.com. Mindy, you've got packages up.
I do. I'm ready to go.
Thursday games. Go ahead one more time if you would.
Yeah, so I have 7 plays in all of the major sports here today. So I have action. I'm gonna be on the total on the Thursday night football game. I guess I kind of ruined that, didn't I? Then I'm on a couple college basketball games. Also 3-pack in the NHL where I swept was 2-0 yesterday. And then also we'll have 2 plays or maybe 1 play in the NBA because we got a small card. 1 play in the NBA on the total on the Clippers game. That's where I will be in action. Also, like I said, I put them all in a 7-pack. And then there is requests for props for the Raiders. So I will go ahead and do that on Tony's show today. I'll go ahead and do some Raider props. I've done that 2 other times and have been pretty successful. So we'll try that out. So if you want to come back on Game Day Picks today at 2 p.m. Central, I'll do some Raiders player props.
Okay. I feel like we're going to be talking about some Devontae or some Jacobs, maybe.
I'll see if I can come up with something else besides the total obvious ones, right?
Well, again, I mean, a lot of time, I don't know, being an under guy, it's hard for me to do props, I think, on shows a lot of times because nobody wants to see unders on props. But
yeah, right.
If you went probably just blind betting, you might be fine. Okay. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Check out the handicapper leaderboard, see who's hot. And we've been having some fun with the Who's Hot feature, Mindy, when we can break down the plays a little bit and show what we're really good in. The last thing that I ended up showing, of course, was how the morning steam was doing while playing totals in college basketball, where we're 16-6. And I said, Tony, you're 7-1. You're 7-1, Tony. Give us more college basketball totals. You obviously are smashing those. So, and Nick also pretty good on college basketball totals. So it was interesting when you break it down. It kind of makes you think maybe I should be focusing on this a little bit more.
I feel like I've kind of changed my strategy just a little bit because I'm like, maybe I should listen to the data a little bit more, right? Yeah. At least right now.
Yeah, and for a lot of handicappers, that's exactly what they actually do is try to narrow down what they're good at and just focus on that. But I really love to give every game a thorough sweep of side and total, and I really don't. I feel
also,
like
it's still also early in the season, and I think once you get more into conference play, I think those are sometimes a little bit more easy to figure out via the spread.
Because you get usually, they just played twice last year, or they even played in the conference tournament. They all have you have the common opponents up and down the league and things like that. So I think people feel a lot more comfortable once they get into conference play, and they're also winding down all the college football from the regular season, so they're ready to focus in on college basketball regular season because bowl games, a lot of people. While you might look right now, and man, there is some, the action's still flying fast and furious when it comes to the news right now in college football. I want to urge everybody that if you want to play the Bulls, make sure you're taking a look right now. Don't wait till the day of the game. If you really think you have a one-up on the news, you're not. Like I said, we're never going to beat the book, beat anyone to the news, but you can try to anticipate the news, right? Like, what's a good example? Like, okay, you look at the UCLA Bowl. Maybe DTR, maybe he's not going to play in that game. I mean, right now the line would reflect that he is going to play, but is he really, going to play in the bowl game? So that's some of the things you can look at. Yes, we are starting to know about some players, but there are others that we don't necessarily know about yet. So look into your bowl games if you have time. Now that the regular season's over and we're getting into the bowl season this month. And we'll be back on Saturday to talk about Army, Navy, Mindy. So, we already know that that it always goes under between
Right.
Army, Navy, and all the service academies. But I'll have some information for you. This is not so fast.
Hot off the press.
Maybe on Saturday. Mostly has to do with the fact that if you go back and put this total up against all the games that are played,
all the other totals,
it goes over this number, which is down to like 32.5 now. And even if you get a dud of a game, what could we say? Okay, 10-7, you win, you take the money, good for you, it went under. But what if it's 17-14? And now all of a sudden you're dealing with, one more score. There's 8 minutes left in the game type of thing. We know they're going to run and all that. We'll talk about it on Saturday. I'll let you go. Have a great day off. Thank you so much for a great show. Thank you for everyone today, especially new viewers. Again, we know a lot of you were already watching the show, but just the fact that you've chimed in to let us know that you're out there makes us feel good to get more names that we can talk to and know you're there, because again, we were up towards 50 again today. So, but of course the regulars too. How about Scotch? Fonzie was here. Mad Bull 69. Crush was here today as well. So just had all of our friends. Curtis Mann was here. Hopefully he'll see us in a few minutes. No, I think he caught up. Joe Jiggy was here. He gave us the Rams Raiders under. I don't think I got a chance to show that one on screen, but Joe Jiggy came in with a play. Okay, great. Thank you. Orlando Cotman was here. Daniel Treschel was here. I really appreciate his comments today. Cages was here as well. Mindy, I can't begin to like I said, I'm going to keep saying them until there's too many, but Ibrahim was here. Aaron Green was here. Met him for the first time today. Blake stopped by. Dave Redling, Jared Bush, Jose Sierra was here. Thurman Hill, George Clark. Mindy, can you believe this is a record today?
Of newbies, yeah.
Yeah, well, that and just the amount of people, the number of people I think that said something in the chat. You know who else? Rodney Barton also was here. I think that's it. I think that's everybody.
Matt, he was here. And he chimed in.
Edwin Mann was here.
Yep.
Thurman Hill. Oh my gosh. I don't want to forget it. That's got to be everybody. I think that's everybody. Let's get out of here. Good job. And thank you to everybody as well.
Yes, we appreciate your insight. It helps us out so much. We appreciate it.
Yep. All right. Thanks a lot, Mindy. We'll catch you in a couple days.
My dogs turn off the lights.
For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.